Hey, what's up everybody? Happy Friday, happy Friday. We made it through yet another week. Here we are, back at the hobby desk, ready to get some good old-fashioned painting in tonight. Don't really have much in the way of announcements yet again. We're just going to jump right into painting Celestine. We're going to do, basically it's just going to be like a continuation of our work from last time. You know, we're still painting all like the little extra bits and pieces on her model. And then if we have the time tonight, we might actually start speed painting up her Gemini Superior bodyguards too. But other than that, yeah, it's just going to be another chill painting session here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like what you see here, don't forget to leave a like on the stream because it helps the channel out a lot, of course. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you know exactly when I go live every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. right here on youtube.com/@chimera games. Thank you all so much for your continued support of my channel. You want to follow me if you want to follow me on my social medias, then all of that can be found in the description below. All right. Cool. So, where are we now? Where are we now? Well, actually, you know what? We are in a pretty great spot, I'd say. I've been looking at the model, you know, on and off between this stream and last, and I determined that there are actually a couple places where I want to go in real quick and just add in a little bit more shading on the cape especially. And then also I think I'm going to use some of my speed paints to actually dye the paper scroll a slightly more yellowish color, something that looks a little bit more basically a little bit more like it matches the sort of general color vibe, the sort of general color temperature of the rest of the model here, really. But I'm really happy with the way she's looking so far. So we are definitely nearing the finish line. Still got a ways to go yet, but I am very excited about where this project is going, actually. Now, if only I could find my palette bone. Aha, there you go. Palette bone. This is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, speed paint. I like using this a lot, as those of you who are frequent viewers of the stream might know, because I've brought up this color a lot during past projects especially. This is what we used all over the Castigator we painted together a while back, if you recall. Yeah, I want to grab some of that, and then I also want to find my, hold on, just gotta find my, is that you, Draconoff Nightshade? No, no, no. Where are you? That's Agrax. Here we go. Perfect. Gonna use some good old-fashioned Draconoff Nightshade, which is a bluish shade on the cape, but we're not gonna use it like all over the cape. We're actually just gonna insert it directly into like the crevices of her cape, for simplicity's sake. So let's go ahead and get this palette bone mixed up. Here we go. Perfect. That should be good. Yeah, that looks good. All right, we just need a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of this on our palette because we're not going to be using very much of it at all tonight. So I'm not going to overdo it. I'm going to try my best not to overdo it. Let's put this in the corner right here, just a nondescript corner of the palette, because this is like the one and only time we're going to be using really any speed paint, I think, with this project, but we'll see about that. Actually, who knows, that might change, but I generally just don't want it colliding with like my other paints. I just like to keep everything nice and separate and organized, you know? Here we go. Load that up onto the brush. Maybe dab out a little bit of the extra, but not much of it. Cool. And let's now apply this here. Excellent. Hold on, give me 1 second. I just realized I got a little bit on the cape itself, which I do not want to do, obviously. So let me just really quickly take my brush and clean that off. Before we go any further, make sure there's none other that I missed, and it looks like we are all good. Cool. Okay, that was a bit of a close call, but that's fine. All right, back to coloring this. Probably gonna need just a little bit more to get through the rest. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit more actually. Okay, that's fine. I'll pour some out real quick. Some more out. There we go. I'll get a drop of water into my brush so I can break the surface tension of this paint a little bit, just so we don't get too much tea staining. I don't mind a little bit of tea staining because it kind of adds to like the aged effect that I kind of want for this paper, for this scroll. I don't want too much tea staining. Too much tea staining would look kind of ugly, so we're gonna avoid that. But yeah. Here we go. That's starting to look pretty good. Okay. Here we go. Get some right there as well. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. I'm gonna pull in out the spots where there's some tea staining, and we're gonna just break those up a little bit so that way we don't like let those really dark spots dry on, because they would look kind of silly, kind of goofy, kind of if we did. So there we go. There's that. All right. Nice. Break up the staining right here too. Okay. Okay, nice. And I might go back and highlight this again later with some of like the bony white colors we have, but for now this is pretty good, pretty good. I quite, oh, you know what? Let me very carefully, of course, hit up the purity seal right there as well. Almost forgot about that. There we go. Gotta get that, of course. All right. There we go. Clean that off. Perfection. Okay. What is this? Okay. All right. So, I'm trying to think of where I want to go next. I think let's do the Drakenhof Nightshade. Let's do the Drakenhof Nightshade next. Here we go. Now the question is, do I want to use my big brush or do I want to use a slightly thinner one? I think I want to use a slightly thinner one. We'll use the triangle brush for this bit, because I don't want it to go accidentally everywhere, you know. Here we go. Suck some of that up. Don't really need to dab any of it off. And we're just gonna go in we're just gonna concentrate this right here in like the dark recesses. Yeah, just literally just right there. Obviously got some recess around where the scroll makes contact. There we go, some recess right here as well. Just slightly load up a little bit more. Hold on. There we go. I was like, I don't have quite the right amount on there. But now I do. Now I definitely do. All right. Like I said, we're being very intentional here with making sure we do not get this all over our layered bits where we don't really want it. And then I have to be very careful here to get it on the inside here without letting the shade paint that I've already applied on the top side run at all. Really is, there are only like 2 folds down here really that need to get hit with that. So and I've got them both. So I think we're good to. I think we're good. I think that's all we need really from the shade paint. I don't want, like I said, I really don't want to overdo this bit. So I'm willing to leave that where it is. Yes, I am willing to leave that where it is for the time being. I might do a little bit of cleanup just real fast because I've noticed I got some, I kind of colored outside the lines a little bit here and there. Thankfully shade paint takes a really long time to dry, so it's really easy to go in with my brush and make any corrections by removing the excess shade paint with water, which is quite nice. All right, yeah, that looks fine. I think that actually looks just about fine too, so I'm gonna leave that be as well. Ooh, I just noticed that I did not highlight my little blue jewel. I definitely want to do that real quick. Let me grab some blue paint, some of our old medium blue from last week. And we're just gonna apply a nice little dot right in like the top left-hand corner, I think. Yeah, left-hand corner is where we want to put this. There we go. Well, that's all we need right there. Nice little, you can't really see it. Hold on, let me clean off my brush and change the focus real quick for y'all to see. Here we go. Close that up so I don't knock it over, and then let me dry off my hands real quick and then zoom in. And then we want to look at, yeah, if you look right there, yeah, see, there we go. So you can see how I just added a little nice little light blue reflection right there just to make the gem have a little bit more of a realistic shine to it. That's all. That's all that is really. Now I'm gonna get the camera back in focus. There we go. All right, what is next? What is next? What is next? There are some highlights we need to apply in our white/off-white areas. So I'm gonna grab some, first some ivory. Gonna get some ivory in here real quick. And then here we go, we just gotta get this. And this right here. All right. Can also hit up the underside here too. With this. Nice, terrific. Awesome. Okay. Gonna hit up these birds with a few more highlights, I think. Give you like a little off-white face there, eh, buddy? There we go. Yeah, I just want their wings to pop a little bit more. Wings and feathers and things. Just all need to pop a little bit more, I think. Oh, there we go. Just trying to catch only the raised bits here on the bird. And also kind of not blend down, but kind of obfuscate their markings. Because, you know, I was looking at some pigeons literally the day after I logged off last week. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's like some of them have like more like conspicuous like spotting patterns on them. But otherwise, no, they're kind of like faded in by like the layers and layers of feathers. You know, it's like they have like layers and layers of feathers. So it's like the spots aren't going to be like, they're gonna look kind of like smudged, I guess, a little bit like, I guess, obscured is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm making this point very clear, but basically I just wanted to make my pigeons look a little bit more natural, so I decided to change things up a little bit right there. Also going to add some highlights to some of the other bony bits, not very many and not too aggressively, because also again I don't want to ruin our perfect non-metallic metal armor either. And you know what, I thought I was going to keep these skulls like the same metal color as the armor, but I decided that they're actually going to get painted ivory as well. They are going to get painted ivory as well, just to make them pop a little bit more. I just want these to pop a little bit more. Same goes for the skull on her chest as well. I thought I was going to leave that armor colored too, but I decided no, that is not going to be the case. I decided that is not going to be the case at all. So I'm going to hit that up as well. I love this brush. This has quickly become my favorite brush. One of my favorite brushes in my collection for sure. Well, we have a slight mistake on her chest here too. I got some dark Prussian blue, it looks like, on there by mistake last time. Thankfully that color is so dark that covering it up with some black paint right now is actually just going to be very, very simple. There we go. That fixed that. Perfection. Also going to touch up the fleur-de-lis on her collar too. I'm noticing it's a little light. Let's see, it looks like I might have gotten a little bit too much water. And it looks like some excess water might have made it into the paint. So let me, yeah, there was some, just a tiniest little bit. So I just wanted to soak up some of that part that was running right there. Okay. Okay. Now the wings need a touch of pure white. The wings on her shoulder here need a touch of pure white in my opinion. So I'm going to grab some of that, which I think I still have on my wet palette from last time. It's a little dry, but we will rehydrate it. Get it back up to decent painting quality. And again, just going over like the finest of the edges. Just bring up that brightness a little bit more. It's hard because I can't quite hold it near the I can't hold it at like the scrolls because the speed paint is probably still drying. It might be good to go at this point, but like I don't want to take any chances, so I'm just gonna let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Gonna get some pure white on here and on here as well. Nice, okay, that looks pretty good. We'll hit like this side too. It doesn't have to be hit quite as aggressively because it's kind of obfuscated anyway. I'm gonna hit like the tips of the cape here with some pure white too. Only like on these high bits here. Perfection. Might actually just go ahead and grab some fresh white paint for this next thing that I'm going to do, which is going to be touching up the lightning a little bit. I kind of want to make it look a little bit more. I kind of feel like I want to make it look a little bit more like lightning. So I'm going to grab my tinier brush, my precise detail brush from the Army Painter, which also came in the speed paint bundle that I got too. They put a lot of brushes in this bundle, which I appreciate. And we're gonna grab some fresh white paint here, and we're gonna go back into that real fast. Also, I didn't say this before, but you know, looking at it now that it's like all dried, like the glazing that we did on the cape actually looks pretty good. At first, I was kind of worried in the moment last week that this would not turn out very well. But actually, you know what? I don't really hate the way it looks at all. I actually quite like the way that it looks. There we go. Probably could have put like another layer of a different color in between like the first and second stages, but I'll take this too. Still turned out better than I predicted it would, frankly, so I'm not gonna be mad about all that. I'm not gonna be mad about all that at all. This is all that. Okay. Get our detail brush ready here. I don't think I've ever used a brush this small before. This is tiny. I mean, it feels like a size 0, but it also feels like it might be a size 00 brush. I'm not entirely sure. But frankly, it is somewhat intimidating how small it is, but... Okay, I just want to make... We're just kind of going for like smaller lines like that I feel like would kind of help sell the lightning effect we're going for a little bit more. I also want to go back over the lines we did already just to make them a little wider, because I think the white paint might have been a little too wet when we first applied it, because it kind of like dried in such a way where it kind of took on the sort of bluish tone because of the blue underneath it, of course. So I'm kind of I'm kind of like highlighting my lightning bolts with pure white here, therefore, while also adding some more never before seen details. Oh yeah, see, that looks more like what I had in my head last week. So yeah, this is what was kind of missing the whole time. A little bit of extra highlighting action. Kind of all we needed. There we go. go. Yeah, okay. Now we just need a little. Hey, Flacco, what's good? Good to see you. How you been? How was your day today? Just going back and touching up the lightning effect on Celestine's cape that we came up with last time. Pretty chill. You got the day. Oh wow, why'd you get the day off work? That's nice. We'd been planning a gala that happened on Tuesday, so our executive director decided to give us a break. Oh, that's nice. Did you go to the gala? If so, how was that for you? Couldn't make it, but I heard it was a hit. That's good. That's good. Well, I'm glad all of y'all's planning seemed to pan out. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that should be good right there. I don't think the top side of the cape, the details on the edges here, need that much touching up. I'm gonna do a little bit anyway. Definitely could use some whitening here, a little bit more here, here. Here we go. Some additional detail there. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, I see. I intended to do an arc right here, didn't I? Sure. I won't do like too much of a line here, but I'll do like a... I'll draw this out a little bit since I apparently already tried starting it last time too. This brush is so tiny, it's hard to keep paint loaded onto it low-key. Thankfully. You still going to the party on Saturday? I am not. No, I am so tired. I am so tired, Flacco. I need to take a day off from any sort of activity, frankly, so I am not going on Saturday anymore, I fear. which I told him last night. I was like, look, man, I just finished working 65 hours last week, and then I literally worked every day for the last 12 days. Like, I am very much. What do you mean today's the day off? Nah, man. I literally just said this is my 12th consecutive day of work, so I'm like, nah. Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna give myself the night off. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta give myself the night off for sure. No, I know what you were talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. But like, my point still stands. It's like I just don't have the energy. I've been socializing like every night. Have I socialized every night this week? Yeah, I've been social like pretty much every night this week too. That's the other thing. So I guess I should have clarified that, like, in addition to working for 12 straight days, I've also been like pretty social every night this week. So it's like, yeah, no, I need a break. I need a break from all of it. I need a break from all of it. Yeah, you get where I'm coming from. I'm glad you see where I'm coming from with that. Cool. Let's see. Swap back to this brush real quick. Grab some white paint again. Gonna go back into our pigeons and just kind of, I'm gonna get more paint off of that. Yeah, let me just. There we go. There we go. That's good. This makes them look a little bit more realistic. Like they got like the layers of feathers. Hey, Ultralord, what's good, man? How you doing? Pretty good. Good. How have you enjoyed your first full week of content creation, huh? So I can get rid of this bad bristle on the brush, or at least clean it up, make it not a bad bristle. There we go. Got the excess paint off of that. Wonderful. Now let's take this brush and let's edge highlight our parchment here. Yeah. Edge highlighter. I think I'm doing fine, I guess. I've been taking a whole bunch of pics in advance and then doing one a day, like you've probably noticed. Yes, I have noticed that. Good shit, blood. Good shit. Yeah, your pics look really good. They've all been turning out great so far. And of course, the models themselves are stellar. It's a good shit, man. Happy for you. I'd like to get a couple more views on each of them, but that'll probably come with time. It will come with time. And if you're ever feeling down about the view count, just understand it's not. I'm not going to tell you not to worry about the views or the numbers, because obviously the numbers is kind of why, like, we are literally on our platforms of choice in the first place anyway. Like, if we didn't care about the numbers, then we would just not be on social media at all. This notion that anyone who shares anything on social media doesn't care about their numbers is frankly bullshit, because the whole point of social media, I would argue, is the numbers. But if you ever feel like the numbers are getting you down, just remember that Instagram's algorithm is completely fucked. Meta have completely fucked up Instagram in a way that, like, it's like amazing how much they've like actually fucked up that platform in just like the last 3 years, frankly. They broke hashtags. Reels fucking suck, if I'm being honest. If I may just step on my box a little bit, yeah, Instagram, their algorithm sucks. So trust me, man, your work always high quality, no matter what the numbers say. But of course, I also understand the desire to get more numbers, because of course that is kind of why we do what we do. It's because we want people to actually see our shit. I like reels. If you like like, it's there, like, I'm not talking about, you probably like reels for the content, Flacco. And I get that. Like, it's not the content that I'm really like shitting on. I'm shitting on the way Reels works and how it prioritizes its content, and like what the type of content that like you need to create for it in order to kind of really even grow a following on there. I don't even want to get into all that right now, but in my opinion, Reels is a waste of time. Yeah, Reels is a waste of time in my opinion, but to each their own, you know what I'm saying? From a creator perspective, like, even if you're finding like a lot of new content, Janine, that's great. But like the problem is that it's all, at least like from like analyses I've seen, it's like the problem is that it's like all news stuff. It's all new stuff, and none of it, and you never really see anything from the people you actually freaking follow, and that's the problem. Part of it comes from, like, you know, generally Reels is probably, I mean, anecdotally at least, it feels like Reels is probably the most underutilized of the three like short form video sharing platforms, the other two being YouTube Shorts and TikTok. But also too, it's like, it's kind of, YouTube has this same problem right now where like click-through rates are oh, you're a news girly, I see, so that explains why you like Reels. YouTube has this same problem right now. I actually just watched a video essay about this the other day. YouTube has this problem right now where basically, like, you know, everyone's getting more recommendations than ever before, right? But the problem is YouTube is kind of like firing a shotgun in the dark, blindfolded, when it comes to recommending your shit to people. Because it's not hitting your target audience, right? It's so much harder to find your target audience because of the way YouTube like distributes your video now. Because the key, like one of the key metrics for your YouTube video's overall performance, or any YouTube content's overall performance, is your click-through rate, which is basically, you know, if someone sees your video, do they click on it, yes or no? And the rate at which people do that, at the rate at which people do click on your video. And the issue is YouTube's showing your video to the type of person who would never watch your stuff. Like, you guys have probably noticed this in your own recommendeds, right? It's like you're on YouTube and suddenly you see a video, you're like, I would never in a million years watch this. Why the hell did YouTube recommend this to me? And that's the problem. It's like, they're like, sure, it's like discoverability. It's like, yeah, it's kind of going up, but that's kind of also a problem at the same time, because your click-through rate is like plummeting because no one's clicking on your video because your video is going out to all the wrong people. And that's kind of the problem with Reels too. And Ultralord says, I'm not gunning for a whole bunch of views or anything, but I feel like discoverability is like zero. No, dude, that's exactly how I feel. Like when I lament about like my numbers and shit, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to go for like 1 million likes or whatever. I don't really care about getting like, I'm not trying to maximize the number of likes and views that my content gets, right? But what I don't want is to feel like just no one's seeing it. Like, I don't want to feel like my content is just being like buried under a pile of like other shit, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that is what I feel when it comes to like posting on Instagram, especially. That's why I sort of toned down my like Instagram posts. They were like, oh yeah, we want you to like, ideally you should be posting like once a day. I'm like, fuck that shit, honestly, because even when I was doing that, like, you weren't putting my shit on anyone's feeds, because ever since Instagram became algorithmically sorted and not chronologically sorted, discoverability has just been on a downward slope from there, you know. But I'm gonna stop ranting about that for now because I don't want to get too sidetracked, and I was just kind of waiting for some paint to dry anyway. But yeah, moving back onto the model though. Okay, what are some other areas we kind of need to paint right now? I think we need to go for yeah, let's go for the blade. Let's go for the blade next. All right. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Oh, there's a fly. Flew from right behind me. Let's see. How do I want to go about doing this? Alright, so let's grab our Incubi Darkness here. What is this? Whatever. Yeah, exactly. I basically decided that I'm ignoring the algorithm, just doing my posts as close to daily as is realistic. It's also easier for me because I have a big collection of finished minis. That's true. That's true. At the time when I first started posting on Instagram, I kind of got caught out because my collection was not that big, so I didn't really have a lot of like minis to even post. Which is whatever at this point. I've made my peace with that. Frankly, I've made my peace with the algorithms across all the platforms. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of suffering under this right now, and you know what? Since I'm really just doing this part-time, because that's all I can afford to do right now, I'm just gonna lay back, have fun, keep on painting my silly little miniatures, and just generally just be like, fuck it to the whole algorithm game. Because I don't ever really want to fully kowtow to the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Because algorithmically designed content tends to not be very good, or at least it's not the standard of content that I want to hold myself to, you know? So yeah. Okay. How do I want to do this? I think I want to go... Oh, this is an idea. Okay. I was trying to think of something some sort of creative to do with the sword. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna first start off by doing like a very light layer of Incubi Darkness. It's gonna be like near a glaze consistency, but not quite a glaze consistency. I don't want to go that thin. But I do need it to be pretty thin. I do need it to be pretty thin, though. And we are going to paint from base to tip. Also, I've been liking the wet palette. Having paint dry out much slower is nice. Yeah, see? Isn't it awesome? That's why I love my wet palette. I'm glad you're enjoying yours, too. Glad you are enjoying yours as well. Yeah, I love my wet palette. At first, once I finally got like the hang of using one, I was like, oh yeah, I don't know why I never used one of these to begin with. That's like the one painting tool that's like, well, it's not strictly necessary. I'm like, that's the one sort of like upgrade. I always recommend to people who ask like that what like they should get to level up their like their gear. I'm always like, yeah, get a fucking wet palette for sure. Get a wet palette for sure. Mm-hmm. Which brand of wet palette did you end up going with? Remind me, Ultra Lord. I got an army pin. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, same as me. Nice. Speaking of Army Painter, did you see that they announced their new revamped war paints line this week? Ultra Lord, did you see that announcement? You know what's one other thing we can do now too? I'm actually going to move on to... We're going to start doing her skin, actually. While we are here. I hope they're good and not like new Coke. What do you mean by new Coke? So for her skin tone, I want her skin to have a reddish undertone to it. So we're going to take some pure Vallejo red here, and we're going to drop that onto the palette real quick. Don't need much of it for this step. But basically the idea here is going to be, we are going to take this, we are going to very gently, probably honestly with our tiny detail brush, take this, thin it down, pretty thin. That should be thin enough. This should be thin enough right here. And I'm basically going to do like a very heavy stippling of this all over the areas where there is going to be skin. And this is going to help us to form a reddish undertone. Coca-Cola had this thing in the 80s where they completely changed the formula and called it New Coke. It was apparently awful and they had to change it. Oh shit. Oh wait, I've heard of this. Yeah. Oh yeah, then yeah, let's hope that it's not like let's hope that it's not like New Coke. Yeah, for sure. I need to remove more paint from this brush. There we go. I'm just going in with this and very lightly applying this all over her face pretty aggressively. After all, this is gonna be her skin undertone, so this is gonna go all over to form that. There we go. Started learning more about skin undertones and whatnot in advance for painting her skin, so now's the time to, I guess, employ that knowledge. We're kind of going to switch back and forth between like working on this and working on her her sword too. Okay. Here we go. What flavor of skin tone are you gonna give her? I'm gonna give her like think like, I don't know how to describe the color. Think like me, but like 4 shades darker is kind of what I'm going for. Maybe like 4.5 shades darker, actually. Which is kind of why I decided to go with like a reddish undertone for her, because I have reddish undertones in my skin, so figured I'd make a good reference. Cool. What about her hair color? Her hair color is probably gonna be like black with like white stripes. So while not fully like the typical sisters look, now with like full white hair, but like black with white stripes, kind of like more of Vol's situation, hair situations, what we're going for with her. Okay, now I gotta get the other hand real quick. Getting 2 Improvise, guessing the hair would be different though. Oh yeah, true. It would be slightly different, but yeah, it's generally the vibe. This brush is having a bit of a hard time holding paint again. But we don't want too much on there though, because otherwise we don't really get the effect we're going for by having too much paint on there, so there we go. I just realized I didn't finish painting this handle apparently before the handle to the sword. This is a kind of not nitpicky, but kind of like anal, but I'm gonna hit this anyway. I'm going to first of all make sure this paint is good and dry before I apply it to the model. Get this random errant hair off my brush that fell off me face, and then we're just gonna hit that. Nice, and then we gotta get a little bit right here too. Alright, and that's all I want to do there. I don't want to go overboard with that. Hey, Godzilla, what's good, fam? How you doing? Whew, good to see you, Chief. Hope you had a good week. Okay, so that first layer on the sword should be dry. So I'm gonna glaze on another layer real quick. Glaze with like quotation marks, more like. It's not really a glaze, but it's a pretty light layer though. Pretty thin layer. I hate math with a burning passion. I don't know what happened. More polynomials. Godzilla Ned. Is that what we're talking about? Yes, we're graphing them. Oh no, not the graphing. God, graphing was also one of my weaknesses in school too. And if I didn't have like my graphing calculator, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We didn't have to do everything without a graphing calculator, but sometimes we did have to do some stuff without one, and those were the dark times. Like, what? Yeah. Stuff makes no sense to me, man. But you'll power through. You'll get it. The calculator's a godsend. I know. I know. Calculators come in clutch every time, without fail. Mm-hmm. Alright. Moving back to Celestine's skin now. I'm gonna get some Rhinox hide as a shadow tone in here real quick. And this is also gonna be pretty thin too. I might even experiment with blending it in with the red too, see what that looks like. If it doesn't look good, we can always cover it with a layer. We can always cover it with a layer of pure Rhinox hide because it's dark enough to obfuscate that. You know. I'm surprised I'm surprised they still make you grab a hand. Yeah, for real. Let's see. Alright, for the sake of experimentation, let's try this out. So grab a little Rhinox hide, blend it in with the red here. Oh, interesting. I don't hate it, but it also doesn't really seem to do very much either. Don't think that's going to be a particularly useful color for us, but that's okay. It's worth the experimentation. Alright, Rhinox hide. Yes, we're going to thin you down pretty aggressively. I want to say almost to a glaze consistency, really. We just want a pretty transparent layer of this. That's a little too transparent for my liking. Let's pick some paint up and put that back in there. Okay, dab off the water. Okay, that should be good enough. So if we go in now, and we just lightly start applying this. This might actually still be a little too wet. It does appear to me to be a little too wet still. And in fact, it is. So we're just gonna get some more paint. There we go. This is actually more, yeah, looking at this is actually way closer to the consistency that I want. Here we go. Okay. Remember, this is just the shadow tone, right? So we're going to obviously build the color up from here. We're going to build the color up from here. We just got to lay the foundations first, of course. But of course. Thankfully, she doesn't have that much, there's not that much exposed skin on the models, so this shouldn't be too difficult, you know? Shouldn't be too difficult at all. Apparently I gave myself a paper cut earlier. There we go. Make sure we get every nook and cranny here for sure. There we go. Okay. Leave that be for now. Alright, let's move back over to the sword. As we continue to add on layers of Incubi Darkness, I'm actually moving up the sword because I want the color to be less intense toward the bottom in order to get like a cool transition effect. So now I'm only doing like from about halfway up the sword down to the tip. We'll leave the rest of it alone for the time being. There we go. Okay. Next bit of color to add in is going to be a mix of Rhinox hide and Doombull brown, actually. Okay. I was just adjusting some cables down below me. Make sure I didn't like kick them and accidentally unplug something in end stream. Because that would suck. Alright, Doombull brown. I'll see what it looks like actually when blended with the Rhinox hide. I don't know actually if this is going to work out quite as I think it will. I don't think it's going to. Actually, yes it is. Actually, yes, it exactly is. Yeah, I just needed that darkened down just a little bit. I'm gonna take what we have here. I'm gonna apply this to the more elevated portions of her skin now, of course. Okay. Might need to do a second layer of this just to make sure the color is nice and vibrant. Yeah, this is coming together quite nicely. I've been trying to get used to mixing my colors more when I paint. Try and make, you know, everything a bit more cohesive when I do, you know. That's the intention. That's the reason why you would blend colors more than grab new ones, is because it helps to keep everything a little bit more coherent on the model. Cause like I knew like the next transition the next layer I wanted was pure Doombull brown, but I was like, it feels a little much to jump straight to the Doombull brown, so why don't I blend the two, the Rhinox hide and the Doombull brown, and get a nice like transitionary color to sort of bridge the gap between those two. Because even though they're both browns, they're very different browns, you know? Okay. Been working on my Lord of Virulence and my friend's Dante. Ooh, that's nice. How far along are you on your Lord of Virulence? Also, taking on two different painting projects at once, brave. That's something I could never do. I could not do that. That's what I mean by that. Alright, let's do another layer, of course, now of Incubi on the sword. Just going like another, like, half a step up from there. Like right around here. So just down from where we were before, and we paint. Almost done. Good stuff. What about Dante? Same. Good stuff. Good stuff. Kudos to you for being able to juggle both projects at once, and to do so be able to do so rather efficiently too. Alright, a little bit more of our Doom Bull Brown Rhinox Hide mix right now. Would do us mighty fine, mighty fine. There we go. Are you just doing, I forget, remind me what your color scheme is for your Death Guard Army Godzilla Nid. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. What is this? Okay, fleshed undertones, oh, that's right, pastel blue and silver accents, that's right. I remember now. I remember now. Nice, nice, nice. Good stuff. And of course you're gonna post too when you're done, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yes, awesome. Terrific. Can't wait to see. As always, as always. Had some rogue brush bristle on the sword blade just now. Had to remove that. Right. We're looking pretty excellent so far. Might do one more layer of Rhinox plus Doom Bull before we move on to pure Doom Bull for the next layer for the face. Uh-oh. Brush is kind of fraying. Let me fix that real fast. There we go. There we go. What is this? Microsoft Defense. Cool. Thanks for nothing, Microsoft, as always. Alright. Swing the Doom Bull Brown back around here. Okay. Yes, we do want to do this. Okay. Doom Bull Brown. Yes. Get that rogue drop of water off my brush, please, and thank you. Scoop some of that up. And we'll tuck that right here. I will say these triangle gripped brushes, while they are nice to hold, I must say they do trap water onto like the handle much more easily because they're like angled. And that can be kind of bothersome when it comes to not getting rogue drops of water in your perfectly balanced paint mixtures. Yeah, slightly lighter. Might dab out some water and let's see what we got there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, perfect. Okay. Still too much water on that brush. There we go. This is probably going to take a couple layers. Okay. Alright, let's move back to the sword now. Okay. I think this is just green enough for us to move on to our next step for this, which is to take some medium blue and mix it with our Incubi Darkness. And use that resulting mixture for the next tone we want. It's probably a little too much medium blue, but that's okay. We're gonna add in some Incubi Darkness to compensate. This is pretty powerful, so it doesn't require much. Ooh, yeah, I poured way too much of this. Hold on. I'm gonna move this over to a separate puddle. I did not mean to pour this much of this, I don't think. Nope, not at all. Not at all. Christian, come on, bud. There we go. Perfect. I always find myself pouring too much paint. Yeah, that's one of my big painting sins too, honestly, if I'm being real. I always pour way too much paint. Don't know why. I always manage to do that. But the truth is I do. Alas. Alas, alas, alas. Uh-oh. Okay. Back to the skin for now. There we go. Nice. Okay. All right. I think one more layer of Doom Bull Brown on the face after this, and we'll be good to go. Now, though, going back to our sword, I'm gonna move into pure medium blue now, glazing that on. Let's see. Okay. All right. Back to face now. This should be the last layer of Doom Bull Brown, pure Doom Bull Brown we apply here. Dry off this brush a little bit. Okay. Okay. that dry? It is finger dry, so that's dry enough for me. I need a little bit more water. Get that good glaze consistency out of there. Hold on. There we go. Had extra water on the brush again. Had to get rid of that. Can't be having any of that now. Still not enough water quite. I think before next stream, I'm definitely going to get a fresh sheet for my palette. Think we need it. This one's getting a little crowded. Yeah, there we go. There's that glaze consistency we want. All day, every day. Next up, for the face, I'm gonna lay down some Doombull Brown. And we're gonna mix that actually with our Vallejo Sunny Skin Tone. To get a nice first highlight layer color. Actually gonna close up our Doombull Brown because we should be done with that for now. We shouldn't need any more. Okay. Now we're going to take this. This is our sunny skin tone right here. Oh, our sunny skin tone right here. There we go. And give that a good shake. There we go. And I think we are going to start off with just one drop of this and see where it goes. So I don't want it to be the resulting mixture to be too light. Okay, interesting. Interesting. This is kind of what it looks like right here. It's not bad. I don't think I mind that at all, really. Let me clean off the old brush. I don't think this is actually the color that I wanted, unfortunately. I might have messed this up, but it's okay because I have a backup plan. Something told me low-key this was going to happen. Oh yeah, this is way too light. This is way too light. That's okay. I have a plan B in mind. I have a plan B in mind for this. I know exactly how we pivot from this. I know how we come back from this. It's actually quite simple. All you have to do is grab our original Doom Bull Brown and layer that back on here. We'll mess up our transitions a little bit, but that's okay. Actually, interesting. Blending that into the Doom Bull Brown on the model actually kind of did something interesting there. Interesting. Yeah, we're definitely going to need a different solution for our sort of first highlight skin tone there. I will think of something, though. I will think of something. Alright, glad we pulled that back from the brink of destruction. Just a bit, just a tad. What if I throw in some Rhinox hide into the mixture we already made? What does that do? True to the title of this stream, we are indeed improvising, adapting, and overcoming. Okay. This is actually a bit closer to what I wanted initially, I think. Yeah, I think this is actually a bit closer to what I wanted initially. Yeah. No. That's not quite what I wanted either. We'll see what this looks like when it finishes drying on, honestly. We might be onto something here. But I don't know. This isn't quite what I had in mind. I'm not gonna lie, gamers. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. If you have a flat flesh or something akin to that, you could mix this a little with the last layer you did on the skin. Oh, let me see. Do I have a flat flesh? I don't think I do, honestly. Well, I do have a basic. I have basic skin tone. I wish I still had Cadian flesh tone. That'd be really helpful right now, actually. But I ran out of that like ages ago, and I have not restocked on it since. Yeah, because what might be messing me up is the fact that I'm using like sunny skin tone, honestly. Let's try this. Let's try basic skin tone mixed with Doombull brown. Appreciate the tip, Ultra Lord. Oh, I am shaking up a storm over here. Hold on. Okay. Gonna load up our brush with a significant portion of Doombull brown. That's probably like 5 drops worth. I just want it to be kind of the overpowering here. Just a little overpowering. Okay. Let me just add literally just 1 single drop. Hold on. Get that bad drop out of there. Okay, and then we just add 1 single little drop of that. And let's see how that goes. Okay, you know what? That is better. That is better. That is definitely better. Actually, you know what's funny? I kind of... Also, I'm trying to color match camouflage, make her a sister. That's what I'm trying to do, Flacco. Also, I'm trying to color match camouflage for a photo of a tank, and it's low-key frustrating trying to find something that's close, and it's just a brown I'm looking for. Damn. Send me a picture of it. Maybe I might have an idea or two about what brown you could use. No, that's not the right tone I was looking for either. Shit. That's fine. Okay. Okay, you know what we're gonna do actually? I'm going to just say fuck it and cheat this. And I'll show you exactly how I'm going to cheat it. Try some yellow or red tones and make it less flat. Yeah, you're right. My problem is I don't have a lot of basic tones. Everything I've got in my collection, this is making me realize that low-key everything I got in my collection is a little like, basic. Well, not basic, a little too like, or it's the exact opposite of basics, a little too like complicated, I guess you can say. But I do actually have a solution. I do actually have like a solution. I do have a solution here. I'm going to fish into my bucket of speed paints because I definitely have a couple of skin tone colors that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to slap right on top of this model, and we're going to get our skin tone that way. we're going to get the skin tone that way, I think. Yeah, we'll start with ruddy fur right here. Yeah. And then we'll go in and add some highlights after the fact. I wanted to try and challenge myself, and it was working out for a while, and then I kind of pivoted too far in the wrong directions. But that's okay. We live, we learn, and look at that. Actually, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Actually, yeah, I don't hate that. I do not. I don't hate that. No, not at all. Speed paint's coming in to save the day yet again, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Now let me just suck up some of this excess from the corners. Yeah. Nice. See, there we go. Hold on, let me give it the good old zoom and focus. Yeah. Yeah, y'all see the vision, right? I think we recovered that pretty nicely. I don't think the camera can focus this closely, but yeah, there we go. Alright, I'd say we successfully pulled that one back from the brink. Yeah. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, let's move on. I'm gonna actually just apply a layer of this over the hands as well. Also giving us some good shading and definition incidentally too. Put your hand behind it to focus outro. Well, give me 1 second, I'll show y'all in just a second here. Here. Come on. There we go. Back up, and there we go. I gotta adjust the focus one more time. This is tricky because, like, technically, like, where I'm looking on my viewfinder, it's right side up, but then I'm trying to, like, match the view. When I'm trying to, like, line it up in OBS, it's actually upside down because the camera's upside down relative to me. The viewfinder just, like, auto-adjusts itself, kinda. There we go. Y'all see that? Hopefully a little bit better. Oh my god, I'm like reconciling between like 3 different views at once. My brain hurts. Oh, my brain hurts so much. But hopefully at least y'all see the color. Hopefully y'all at least see the color. Hopefully that's coming through at the very least. I need to get a new camera lens. I need to get a stronger I need to get like a macro lens or something. There we go. That's pretty decent right there. Alright, let's get back to our normal-ish view. Here we go. Okay. And as always, we're going to go with some pale sand. Actually, I'm going to let that dry a little bit more first before I do that. I was going to say let's do some highlighting, but actually, we got to add another layer or a couple more layers of paint to the sword here. So I'm going to do that too while we're here. Okay, wait for that to dry. While waiting for that to dry, we will paint on some highlights on her face. Yeah, I think I achieved a pretty decent black skin tone right there, I want to say. This is actually more like what I had in mind initially, so I'm satisfied. Take some of that, mix it in with our ruddy fur. Might need a little bit more ruddy fur. There we go. We need a lot. Favorite sister order? Good question. Mine in 9th edition, it was Argent Shroud. I really liked the Argent Shroud because that's the one that lets you, basically like when you, as you move through your turn, your units are considered to have remained stationary until the end of the shooting phase. So what that meant was you could like advance like your multi-melta and your heavy flamer sisters and stuff like that and fire without taking the heavy weapon penalty, which was really, really useful back in 9th edition. It was really fun to just be able to like run and gun, especially like if you had like a whole bunch of dominions with special weapons who already get a 6-inch pregame move and then you advance them turn 1. It was beautiful. Godzilla knit, it was a beautiful time. It was a glorious time to be a Sisters player. Now, well. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Shoutouts though, honorary mention goes out to Ebon Chalice though, just cause like lore wise, Dominica is probably my favorite like of the like founding sisters. I mean, I know she was kind of like the leader of them, so it's kind of like a nice pick, Christian, but like yeah, it's true though. I like, look, in my opinion, she's a leader for a reason, so you know, that's how I feel. Okay, this was not the right color to use for the highlight tone. Interesting. Let me see if I can remove that real quick. Might just use pure pale sand, honestly. That might be all it needs. Sisters actually won a big tournament recently. Really? Which tournament did they win recently? Oh, you know what this needs? It actually needs to be mixed with. I know exactly what we need. We need the Doom Bull Brown. We need the Doom Bull Brown. Actually, you know what? I'm such a silly boy. Well, oh, Tampa. Okay, nice, nice. I just realized if I'm using the same colors that I used for the armor, then for a highlight tone, why don't I just fucking use Scrag Brown? Yeah, honestly, of course. I can literally just use Scrag Brown. There we go. That's how we're gonna do this. This is how we do it. we're gonna actually take our tiny brush here, and really without thinning the paint at all, we're just gonna apply this. We're just gonna apply this to the model. Very nice and gently here. Yeah, this is the one we needed the entire time. Not the entire time, but like this is definitely very helpful. Isn't that the national championship? I'm pretty sure, yeah. That is the nationals. Oh, so I bet you was John Godzilla. Do you know if John Lennon was the was John Lennon the sisters player that won? I was gonna say, in this current meta, if anyone can win a game with sisters, it's that man. Or was it Richard Ziegler? One of the two of them. Do you know? Oh, Jeffrey Collin. Oh, Colliner. Okay, I've heard his name before. I wonder what like a touch of this mixed with this looks like. Ooh, that's really good. Hold on. I went back to my Rhinox High Doombull Brown mixture and added some Scrag Brown to it. I actually really like this. I'm gonna actually add that in a little bit, like just right here. I went a little too aggressive with these highlights, just the tiniest bit too aggressive with these highlights. So I'm kind of blend it down a little bit, smooth out that transition between them. There we go. Yep, Janine, you were right. The yellowish tone, that's exactly what we were looking for. It didn't even click for me that Scrag Brown is actually, I was thinking like, I don't really have anything like yellowish, but I actually have a couple things that are pretty yellowish. The Scrag Brown itself is actually pretty yellowish right there. So Flacco, shout outs to you. Appreciate you, dog. You and Ultra Lord both. Let's see. I'm curious now, Godzilla, and since you brought it up, I'm curious to see what this winning list for sisters looked like. I hope it didn't spam tanks. It probably did. They're the best thing we have right now. Let's find out. 40k Tampa Open winner. Jeffrey Colliner. Yep, here we go. Sisters of Battle Triumph. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, here we go. So he had Morven. He brought Celestine. He brought Junith. Brought a Palatine, brought in a Magifier. Okay. 3 Battle Sisters squads. It is vehicle meta right now. That is true, yeah. But hold on though. No, he's got a pretty decent amount of. Oh yeah, duh, because we had all those points cuts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. But the fact that he has 3 Battle Sister squads, I think, is a sign of healing for us, because most like competitive, quote unquote competitive lists I've seen. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up so we can all look at this together real fast. Here we go. Monitor 1, here we go. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so here we go. So check this out. So here's the list right here. Tampa US Open, first place. Here we go. So he has Morven, Celestine, Junith, Palatine, and an Imagifier. The Imagifier is actually really good this edition, so that doesn't surprise me at all. What does surprise me is the 3 squads of Battle Sisters. If I see a list take Battle Sisters at all that's been labeled as like competitive or whatever, they only take 1. 3, I'm actually a little shocked by. Pleasantly shocked by, mind you, but shocked nonetheless. 2 immolators, that does not surprise me because immolators allow you to combat squad sisters, meaning you can take this squad of 10 and split it up into 2 squads of 5, load 5 of them into the immolator, and then redeploy them as their own separate squad, pretty much. 1 squad of retributors. How the mighty have fallen. Prior lists, like older lists of sisters, would have multiple squads of retributors, but they're just a bit too fragile, isn't it? 2 castigators, that does not surprise me. Part of me greatly regrets not falling. Remember back when we were building the castigator, I tried to magnetize it but failed miserably. I wish I had kind of stuck through with that because I have the auto cannons, not the battle cannon on, and I know my understanding is in this edition the battle cannon is actually better. Not significantly so, but enough to matter. 2 mortifiers, doesn't surprise me. Mortifiers are pretty great. 1 squad of Paragon War Suits, of course, makes sense if you're going to take Vol. Might as well take a squad of Paragon War Suits too, since altogether that combo is 325 points. 1 Seraphim squad rolling with 1 Seraphim squad of 5 rolling with Celestine. Interesting. Usually you see her roll up with 10 of them. Then you got the interesting. I wonder what the logic behind taking the Sisters Novitiates are, because the Novitiates aren't usually that much of a favorite. Hold on. Adeptasororitas index. Here we go. Let's see. Why would you take the Novitiates? Let's find out. They are... No, one more down. Here we go. Novitiate squad. Abilities. Impetuous Fervor. Every time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll hits of 1. Okay, that's actually pretty good. If the target of that attack is an enemy unit within range of an objective marker, you can re-roll the entire hit roll instead. Oh, interesting. War gear abilities. Sacred Banner, you can re-roll advance and charge rolls. Nice, okay. Simulacrum Imperialis. Each time a unit is destroyed by this bearer's unit or the bearer's unit, you gain 1 miracle dice. Nice. Okay. Yeah, cannon fodder for sure, something to draw fire, because I get it, because it's like this. When left alone, this could be troublesome, and you also don't want like your battle sisters, which are generating your standard battle sisters, which are generating miracle dice on objectives, to get shot up right away. This is a threat that your opponent would have to answer low key, especially with like the rerolls available to it. I mean, otherwise, you know, the strength is the damage potential is not truly that great, because I mean, what the highest melee weapon strength is 4. God damn it. Oh my god. I can't help but feel like they made this index among one of the first ones of the edition, because like, really? Melee strength 4? Melee strength 4, bro. Yeah, they're killing me. But anyway, with no AP and then 1 damage. Love to see it. Love to see it. But either way, I can see the logic behind taking these. At least 1 squad. I can see how these would be like good cannon fodder, because you would have to answer this low key, or else risk getting chopped up in melee. And then what else we got? 2 Death Cult Assassins, of course. Got to bring the Death Cult Assassins and the Calidus Assassin. Yep. Wow. This is actually a very surprisingly diverse list. This is a very surprisingly diverse list. There's a lot more infantry heavy than I guess one would expect at this point, given the extremely vehicle heavy meta we're in right now. Nice. I appreciate it though. It's actually really nice to see that he won the Tampa Open with, or the Tampa Open with this list. Ooh, hold on. Apparently the second place list was a World Eaters list. Wow, Angron's 415. That's crazy. Good shit though. Oh, check this out here too. Oh, Ultralord, what did you say? You said Low-key Eldar Guardians are worth taking for the same reason as Battle Sisters. They both give you the special... Right, exactly. Like, that's still a very good, like, offensive or potentially defensive resource to have unlocked. Yes, yes, yes. And then we got the new updated win rates. Real quick, take a peek at these. So Eldar's still on top, but Orcs... Goddamn, Orcs shot up the order. They are now second place, and it's actually really nice to see our sisters here have shot up into the Goldilocks zone of about 49%, which is fantastic. Happy to see that they've healed up. Guess it's time for me to finally get good. Time for me to finally get good, but oh, poor Imperial Knights. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, because they were like up here. They were second, if I remember correctly, but now they're all the way down here. Same with Custodes. I think I remember reading in the main Meta Watch article that Games Workshop feels though they overtuned Custodes and Imperial Knights, so I think they're gonna revisit them in the next balance update, give them a bit more love. Also, shout outs to Votan too, going from like second from the bottom or third from the bottom up to third from the top now, which is great. Poor Drukhari players. I know they're fucking frustrated as hell right now. But alright. Back to painting. So, skin tone's looking pretty great. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Might just take some pure pale sand and do like the most gentle of highlights. Don't get me started about the doors. Has your brother been fucking you up with his Votan? Is that the reason why you don't want me to get you started on that, Ultra Lord? You get so many now, it's not even funny. You see an army and it literally has multiple of every single unit in the rank. Damn. That's intense. Especially because there are only like, what, 12, 14 or so different Votan units right now. Still, there aren't that many of them, I know that's for sure. And yeah, I've heard it became extremely hoardy. I heard it became extremely hoardy. Okay. Now it's time for the part of the face painting that I've been dreading the most, probably, which is getting the eyes. Oh boy. And I missed. I missed. Of course I missed. Okay. Okay. We can fix this though. All we have to do is take some of our face color and reapply it in the areas around the eye socket that shouldn't have white paint on them. And hopefully we'll be fine after that. Shouldn't be long. How many like Hearthkin warriors would you say like your brother's able to cram into a list now, Ultra Lord? You have to give it like a guesstimate. You know what? I've determined that this brush actually sucks, and I'm going to use my slightly larger one. Even though I'm working in a very small area, this should actually be better overall because I just have better control of the bristles and they can actually hold more paint. The tiniest brush is not always the best solution to the tiny problems. Okay. Eyes look a little better now. Oh yeah, look at that. He takes 2 basic squads, 2 Terminator squads, 2 exosuit squads. Jesus Christ. 2 bikes, 2 buggies, and a big boy land fort. Wow. That's a pretty chonky list right there. When was the last time you played him? Like 2 weeks ago, I think. Who won that one? He won. Ah. Fair play, fair play. Which army did you play against him? You brought your Eldar against him or your Thousand Sons? Oh, frick. Okay, hold on. I just made a ginormous mistake on the face. But then we played a tournament and had the same record against the same player, so the armies are probably pretty close. I ran my Eldar. Gotcha, okay. Shit. Ah, why is it always the fucking eyes? Why is it always the fucking eyes? It's literally always the fucking eyes, y'all, I swear. Okay, crisis averted. Shit. Alright. I think we're gonna leave the eyes alone. I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit. 95% of the way there is good enough. The extra 5% are not worth the risk it would take to get there. Oh, Ultralord, I just saw the picture of your tank you sent. Oh, interesting. You know, if you mixed like Doom Bull brown with some yellow, I bet you can get this color. I bet you can get pretty close to this color, actually. Like, to me, this is giving like Doom Bull brown plus like maybe Bestigor. With like the tiniest bit of black to desaturate it. Desaturate it? Yeah, yeah. That's my guess, at least. I don't know. Clearly, I'm not that good at mixing colors, so do not take my word for it. Do not take my word. Ended up using beige from Vallejo. Oh, beige brown from Vallejo. I'll bet. Okay. Nice. Okay. I'd say let's add a couple more layers of medium blue glaze to the sword. Since I was so kind to myself and poured so much of it out anyway. So kind, so generous of you, Christian, to use so much medium blue for your endeavors here tonight. Yes, well. Yeah, this is all coming together quite nicely. I'm gonna lay the groundwork for doing her hair real quick by grabbing some of our black, which I know I have very little left of at this point. We should have just enough for our purposes here. There we go. All right. All right. Cool. Let's mix some good old black with some good old white. We got a nice gray going here. I'm kind of like pseudo dry brushing this gray onto her hair. Just start. It's not a dry brush because the paint's not dry and the brush certainly is not dry, but I am kind of like just taking very light passes across her hair perpendicular to where all the edges are. So in that regard, the sensation is, or like the technique feels somewhat reminiscent of dry brushing. There we go. Just because I want to leave some black in the recesses, you know? So I'm not trying to get the gray everywhere. Just where it needs to go. There we go, just like that. Okay. Looks pretty good. Alright. And now we do another layer on the sword. There we go. Okay, we let that dry. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ba-da-da-ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Now I'm being even gentler this time with these passes of my brush over her hair. Only catching the very highest parts of everything is really what we're going for here. Got a little bit more paint. Nice. All right, and that's her hair out of the way. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Her head ultimately turned out pretty much exactly as I envisioned it. There we go right there. Sorry for all the shaking. This freaking flight stand is so wobbly, but there we go. There we go. Alright, how much time we got left? About 20 minutes? 20 minutes. Alright, cool. Oof. My hands are tired. And just one more time, y'all, I just want to say thanks so much for watching the stream. If you like what you saw here tonight, don't forget to leave a like on the stream before we end off tonight. And don't forget to subscribe too if you're here already. If you're new here and you've already been watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you head out too, and hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when we go live, which is of course every Friday night at youtube.com/@ChimeraGames at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to follow me on my socials, find them all below in the description. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, this is really starting to come together. I'm a fan of this. I am, in fact, a fan of this. Of me. All right. You know what? We could use a little bit of this medium blue actually right here along the rim of her corset here. Just as a little bit of a highlight, and also to cover up some mistakes that I made. Here we go. Sometimes sometimes as long as they're in the right place, I will simply let the mistakes I've made in certain places guide where I highlight. As silly as that might sound, sometimes it can be effective. It can in fact be rather effective. There we go. You know what? Right down in there actually might be a good place to drop just the tiniest bit of Drakenhof Nightshade. I'm gonna do that real quick too. Yeah. Yeah, okay, okay. Alright, that should be dry enough now there too. Time to go back to my Dragonoff Nightshade real quick. Alright, here we go. Nice. Whew, I am getting sleepy. That means it is almost time to end stream. Let me take the white real quick. And let me go over the edges of these tubes. And just kind of like lightly pseudo dry brush these. Finally give these the dimension I've been anticipating giving them. Hold on, I gotta kind of flip the model upside down in order to get the brush perpendicular because of the way these are sort of tucked away to the side. Perfect. There we go. Same with her, same with her, like, middle zipper right there. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Also, you should get the insides of, like, little black flex points of the inside the under part of the armor here, like right here, for example, I made. Hold on. Doesn't actually feel like there's much of an edge to really catch there. But if there is one, I'll find it, and I will get it. Nice. Highlight that a little bit, maybe highlight this a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. It really never ceases to amazing. It really does never cease to amaze me just what a little bit of highlighting can do to really bring your model to life. I will never not be in awe of all that. Alright, one more layer of glazing on the sword. And I think in between streams I'm going to work on glazing this sword offline just so I save a little bit more time for the next stream. Actually, I think, you know what, next stream we might not even work on Celestine herself at all. I think next stream we might just speed paint up the Seraphim, actually. Not the Seraphim, the Gemini Superior, but they are Seraphim. They're like upgraded Seraphim. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna paint up her bodyguards, I think, next stream. We're gonna paint up her bodyguards next stream just to get those out of the way. Too much water. 7.8 out of 10, too much water. There we go. All right. I think we're gonna stop there for the night, y'all. But this is where we're at. She's looking pretty great, if I do say so myself. I am pretty happy with this. I'm very happy with this, actually. All right. Well, as always, friends, so much for joining me here on the stream tonight. Had a lot of fun hanging out with y'all. Thank you, Ultralord. Appreciate the compliment, my brother. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream before you go. Uh-oh, I was buffering there for a second. I'm going to take that again. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream before you go, you guys, if you like what you saw here tonight. Of course, that always helps out the channel immensely. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. I go live here on YouTube every Friday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. that is. Next week, we are going to work on her bodyguard, Celestine's bodyguards, the Gemini Superior. Get those painted up finally, just so we don't forget them before we reach the end of this project, which we are definitely nearing the end. I think the only major parts left to work on are the sword, the bases for all three models in the unit, and then Celestine's wings, finally finishing those as well. Those are our three main objectives that we have left to three bases, sword, wings. Yeah, three main objectives we have left to do. And yeah, until I see y'all again next week, have a great weekend, stay awesome, stay safe, and yeah, that's it. Peace out. Bye, guys.